This meeting is being recorded.
I'm Robert Theobald, Small Business Ombudsman and Vice President of Small Business Services here at the Arizona Commerce Authority, and we're glad to have you with us on this Tuesday, February 28th. We got a great session in store for you today, so again, thank you for joining us. If you're new to the Small Business Bootcamp, we like to start by thanking all of our community partners. We could not do these workshops without them, their time, their effort, and their expertise. You can see we have a lot of community partners. We have about 120 different organizations that have helped with the boot camp over the nearly 3 years of boot camps. So what are the boot camps? They're webinars that we do every Tuesday morning designed to help small businesses prepare, plan, and grow. And they are statewide initiatives supported by all of those community partners. And not only is it our Tuesday webinar, it also includes our content library and a series of workshops with our community partners. So let's talk about the content library. As I mentioned, this bootcamp webinar series is nearly 3 years old. And over that 3 years, we recorded just about every webinar. There's a few that we couldn't record due to licensing requirements of the presenters. But we have well over 200. We have about 250, 260 recorded webinars that you can access at any time. It's no cost. You can watch the webinar. You can download the slide deck or the worksheets that were provided. And it's a great tool and resource available to you at any time, so you can get that learning on your time frame when you have the time to do that. There's a list of topics you can sort by, so you don't have to scroll through all 250 plus to help you find those. Or if you're just searching for something, can't seem to find it, feel free to reach out to me, and I will guide you to the sessions that can help you with the topic you're looking for. Additionally, the ACA has a number of programs to help support small businesses. We have our small business services, our workforce, and our Arizona MEP, our Manufacturing Extension Partnership. These programs are designed to help small businesses or small manufacturers grow and expand, and we are here for you. Additionally, one of our great programs is the ACA Small Business Checklist. And this is designed to help, it's an online interactive resource that helps entrepreneurs understand the commonly requested licensing, registration, compliance needs at the local, state, and federal level. So if you're looking to start a new business or expand your business into a new line, you can go into the checklist and find all the information, all the people you need to contact, organizations to help you do that effectively. And if you have a simple question, you can go onto our website there, and on the bottom right-hand corner, you'll find Sally, our virtual assistant, and she can help you with some of the simpler questions that you may have. So with that, I want to share a little bit. The Census Bureau has asked us to share this information on the economic census that is required by law for all businesses to report the information. So we are sharing this as a partner of them. So you can have that information and be aware of it. And when you report that stuff, it just helps all of the communities understand better what types of businesses they have in their communities, the breakouts, national, state, and so forth. So the data that comes from the economic census is very helpful as we look to grow our Arizona economy. Also, we want to share some more upcoming sessions. We have a bunch of great sessions coming up the following Tuesdays through the end of March. So please join us for those, as you can see them there. You see on Tuesday, March 21st, that's the Introduction to Government Contracting. That's the first of 3 webinars we will be doing throughout March and April on government contracting. There's a lot of opportunities there for businesses to get contracts and grow their business through those contracts. So I would encourage you to be part of those and share that information with others as well. So we also have some other great marketing sessions, different areas of marketing and sales coming up. And then we're looking forward to our March 28th session, Smog Strategies. That's with Robin Reed of the Black Chamber. He's a phenomenal speaker. We are excited to have him back with us. So with that, we're going to jump into today's session. We are glad to have back with us Isaac and Kim from LocalFi. They are our expert go-to people for local SEO. They definitely know their stuff, and so we're excited when they come on and share updates and share their information. So with that, Isaac and Kim, I am going to turn the time over to you. And as they get set up with their screen share, we'd ask that when you have questions, drop those in the Q&A box. And I know Kim will help monitor the chat as well, so we can get all your questions and interactions taken care of. So Kim and Isaac, it's all yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Robert. And we're excited to be back here. I think this may be our 5th webinar with you guys, somewhere around that. And if you guys have attended any of our previous webinars, this one's going to look a bit different because Google has changed a massive amount of things since the last time we did a webinar. Probably the biggest change that I've really seen in the last 10 years of working in local SEO. So we're really going to be going through a lot of important things on how the change has affected you and how you can still do really positive things with Google My Business, even though Google has removed kind of access to some of the things that we're used to having previously. So getting started, I just want to share a little bit about Kim and I. So we started LocalFi about 5 years now, and a couple things that you should know about us is that we love to help elevate and accelerate businesses. It's been a passion of ours, especially locally owned businesses. I really believe locally owned businesses are the cornerstone of every community, and so if we can support that, we're supporting communities all across America. We also are full-time travelers, so we've actually been to 47 of the 63 national parks, and we travel typically now at this point 6 to 8 months during the year. And yeah, like I said, we just love growing and supporting communities. It's really a passion of ours, and that's partly why we love traveling, because we get to experience so many different communities and just see how amazing. Really, we've been traveling the U.S. these last 5 years a lot, and just it's just such an amazing country with so many things to see, so many different types of people, so many different cultures that, we could spend a lifetime exploring America and still have things to find. So just wanted to share a little bit about that. And then I want to share about local SEO. What is local SEO? Everyone's heard of SEO, but we like to define local SEO as really, ranking on these business finders. We consider that like Google Maps, Yelp, TripAdvisor. Well, what we call traditional or website SEO is ranking your website, first on Google or in that first page. And so, the thing about website SEO is that it's very complex, fairly expensive, and it takes a while to take hold. It can be very powerful still, but it does take a bit of time and quite an investment to see the returns. Well, local SEO for most locally owned businesses that are serving local customers is actually a far better ROI path. It's much quicker to be able to rank and drive traffic. And actually, it shows up #1 when you're searching on Google. So I'm going to show that right now and just show why this is so powerful. So when you are searching in Google, this is just a regular Google search, you'll see the first thing that pops up is actually this Google Maps section. And this is for really any thing that has a local modifier on it, whether that's a city or that's a near me type term. This will show up first, even above web pages. You can see you have to go down here to see web pages. So that's why this is so powerful, and it works for so many different industries. So you can see, for instance, if you type in something like best sandwiches in Gilbert, our client Flancer's shows up #1. Just shout out to Flancer's. If you haven't eaten there, they have bread they make themselves, and it tastes like you're eating a cloud. And they've been a locally owned business in Gilbert and in Mesa for years. And so, there is quite a lot of competition in Gilbert, and yet we're still able to show up #1 and drive a tremendous amount of traffic. If you look down here, though, the first website that shows up is Yelp. The second website that shows up is TripAdvisor. You probably have to go down quite a ways to actually find an actual website. So that's why we say the local SEO side of things for many industries is far better ROI than website SEO, because you're going to be showing up here. Right now, this section gets about 50% of all the clicks, where the first website will get 12% of all the clicks. And the first website's Yelp anyway, which again is part of what we do for our clients, is helping them get on all these local business finders. So like I said, this works for a ton of different industries. We have restaurants, we have jewelry stores, we even have a flight school in Mesa. So, what I want to show here is how much when you type in your business name, it actually shows your Google My Business card. And you can see this takes up a huge section of the first page of Google. Now, Google has actually changed recently, so there is no more first page. It just keeps going and going and going now. So it's kind of interesting. They removed the pages, but again, it's still taking up a huge section of this, where you're going to scroll. And really, this is your prime real estate on Google. So this is why we say that this is one of the most important marketing assets that any business can have, because not only are you going to be able to show up really high on a Google search, but then when you do show up, you're going to be capitalizing when somebody hears about you and types in your business name, you'll be capitalizing on a huge area of the Google search, and more real estate, the better for you. So just wanted to, talk about those things quickly and just show you quickly why this is so powerful and why, it is, in our opinion, the number one thing any business should start with and is usually the highest ROI driver. Now, not to say other marketing avenues can't work, because they absolutely can. And we oftentimes do this in conjunction with other marketing avenues, but this is the one to start with and the one to make sure that it's looking really great. So let's talk very briefly about how do you actually rank on GMB? How can you get it so that when someone's searching for you, like we type in Flight School Mesa, for instance, there's UND showing up number 2. And when we started working with them, they weren't showing up at all. So there's a couple key elements to ranking, and it's really breaking down into 3 different categories. It's trust, relevance, and location. So trust is how much does Google trust that you are who you say you are and that you're offering the services you say you're offering. Relevance is how relevant is what you have in your profile relevant to the search term. For instance, do you mention that you're a flight school, in your search term? You won't believe how many people actually don't mention the keywords that they need to in order to rank for the keywords that really make sense. For instance, with Flancers, when we started working with them, they were just called Flancer's Incredible Sandwiches online. But we noticed the signage outside said Incredible Sandwiches and Pizza. So we actually just updated their name and started highlighting the fact that they added pizza as well. And all of a sudden, the pizza business took off. So we were able to help them expand a different market of theirs just because we were able to input the name pizza and utilize that in the categories a few times to be able to start ranking for that search term as well. So, that's one of the major things. Another major thing for trust is how does your business data show up online? So we actually have a great tool for checking this. If you want to utilize this, this is really helpful to see how your business data is working. You would just go to our website, which is localfyseo.com. You go over to here to Free Academy, go to the business scan, and then you just fill out this data. And this will actually run a report and show you how you're ranking on, or not how you're ranking, but how your business data is showing up in about 70 different business listings. And this is really helpful because here's the thing. If you have your name as something on one site and then it's completely different on another site, or even just slightly different, Google doesn't trust you as much. You want to have the same data, the same address, the same phone number on all of these different sites. And every site that you're on additional, Google looks at the vote of confidence of your business. So it actually builds trust significantly, why it's so important to be on these different citation sites. So the thing is, if you've ever moved locations, or you've moved into a business that used to have another business, a location that used to have another business, or you've changed your name, there's wrong data out there online. It's just, it always happens. So this scan will really help you see where that wrong data is. And on some of the sites, you are able to go and manually fix them. Some of the sites at this point only can be fixed through softwares. And so really the way to do that is to work with an agency like ours who have these softwares that allows us to link to these other citation platforms and update that information. So like I said, this is a free resource for anyone, as well as we have a whole free academy that talks about a couple different things that we think are important for running a successful business. And so I encourage anyone to use this tool to just help them see where their business is showing up online, as well as just Google your own business right now, make sure there's not a .com in it, and see what your Google business profile looks like. Okay, so those are a few things. In terms of relevance, relevance is really all about, are you putting the keywords in that you need to be able to rank. So keywords are essentially, what is somebody searching for in the search term. So this would be for answers, for instance, sandwiches, lunch near me, pizza, that kind of stuff are the keywords. And so you have a couple places to be able to put that in, and Kim's going to be showing you how to do this in the new GMB very soon. Google My Business is GMB. But you can see we really flesh out this description section. Again, if you look at your own business, you might see you only have a couple sentences. Fill this out completely, because you can get as many keywords in as you can here. And then you can also do posting. So you can see now Google My Business has a whole, essentially we call it like social media of the business world, and you can post. And so you can put these in, and you can see we can write a lot of content in here, and we can put different keywords in here, and then we can drive direct actions. We can tell them to call, or we can tell them to go right to the website. So this is a very powerful tool a lot of businesses are not utilizing, is the posting aspect of Google My Business. And again, Kim will be going into exactly how do you post in just a minute. So that's a big element of building that relevance, is having the right keywords in. So how do you find keywords? I know we get this question a lot. The two ways that we suggest, there is a keyword tool on Google that is free. It's decent. It's a little complicated to use, but you can definitely go and find some YouTubes about how to use it. What we really love to use is called Keywords Anywhere. That's this right here, actually, Keywords Anywhere. It is a paid tool, but it's like $10 a year, and it's very simple to use, and our whole team uses it. So if you're wanting to, have a tool that is much more simplified, but still high quality and still really does a great job, we recommend Keywords Everywhere ourselves, and that's what our team uses a lot of the times for our keyword research. So that's a great tool to use for keyword research. And then obviously we talked about location. So location is the final factor in local SEO, which makes some sense. So when obviously sometimes you can't change your location, but you are able to actually put in service areas that you cover, which we can talk about, as well as when you're looking to found a business or start a business, location matters for SEO. So really think about, are my clientele in this location? Does it make sense for me to launch a business here, knowing that I want to drive traffic with SEO? So those are just things to keep in mind, when you're doing, you're looking at launching a business or moving or any of those types of things. So with that, I want to talk just a little bit about how Google My Business has actually changed. So essentially during the pandemic, Google dropped, they let go of a lot of employees. And then even more so recently, they just let go another 12,000 employees. What we're seeing is that they really are limiting the amount of time they're using as support on Google My Business. So what they've done is they've actually taken away a lot of the access to individual business owners, because they, in my belief, they just don't want to be spending as much money with the customer support. So they're really only talking with agencies as much now. So what they've done is they've completely removed the phone app that Google My Business used to have, which was a great app for managing your business. So some of you may be noticing, hey, I used to manage my Google My Business on this app and it's gone. Yeah, it's completely gone, not supported anymore. They've also completely gotten rid of the back end dashboard. So that's what we used to teach, how to navigate that dashboard. That is completely gone now, and you only can really access it through Google My Business now. And Kim will again show you exactly how to do this. So this is really important because so much has changed. Google My Business is still one of the strongest marketing assets you can build, but you just need to know how to navigate this new platform, and what limitations you have and what things you can still do to really be able to drive a lot of traffic to you. So with that being said, I do want to pass it over to Kim. She is the COO of Localfy and really does a lot of the the updating of clients and managing the team. And so she's been in this, this major change happened like 4 or 5 months ago. So we spent the first like 2 to 3 months of this major change building whole new systems for us. And then once we really figured out the new system, that's when we were able to, reach out to Robert and Faith and say, hey, we're ready to do this webinar. So with that being said, I want to pass it off to Kim, and she's going to go through how to use the new systems, both the using it on a desktop, but also how to still make edits from your phone. So I know most webinars say, hey, put your phone away, but during that section, we recommend that you pull your phone out and actually go through it with Kim so you can get a good idea of that. So with that, take it away, Kim.
Thanks, Isaac. And before I pass the torch, I'd love for you to answer this very good question out loud.
Absolutely.
Obviously, we didn't ask a very important question. I'd love for everyone right now to just put in the chat, what industry are you in? What type of business do you have? That's really cool for us to know regardless. But Christine asked, is it worth it to focus on local SEO if customers can't actually shop at our location? They would still need to shop on our website. I think that's a great question.
Right. So that is a great question. I still think building the profiles and having your local SEO presence is always the first thing we do. So we're able to rank clients nationally as well. We have several clients ranking nationally for their e-commerce stores, but we always start with the local SEO because Google actually looks at how well are you ranking where you're located. And if you can rank well locally, it actually helps you a lot ranking nationally. So what do you do if you don't have a physical location that Google walk into? Well, as Kim said, that's a great question. You actually are able to, when setting up your Google My Business, you can click a little box that says, essentially, people cannot come to my location, but I service these areas. And so that's where you actually set up service areas, and you can say I service, you can dive down
I'll
into
show that too, don't worry.
the zip codes, but you can even say states, and you can even say the whole US. We typically do not recommend saying the whole US, even if you do serve the whole US with your local profile. But we definitely will say, hey, we serve these states, and so that's how you can still build that. The other big reason to build that local SEO platform is because no matter where someone's searching for you, if they type in your business name, the first thing that's going to show up is that Google business card. So I can just share my screen again quickly. And as you can see, this is the Google business card. So it doesn't matter if you're in New York, if you search for Flancer's sandwiches, this Google business card will pop up, and this is where you can capture all your reputation, and so that's a huge part of the conversion factor. So we found that just by building and really souping up people's Google My Businesses, the word of mouth conversion about doubles or triples. It's really powerful because essentially, no matter how somebody hears about you, whether it's a radio ad, whether it's a friend referring you, they almost always are going to Google you now and just see how are you showing up online. And so having this Google My Business profile with great reviews captured is still going to be a great tool for you, even if you don't service people at your actual location. And some of the best clients that we have that do really phenomenal are actually service area clients. So the trade industries, plumbers, landscapers, those types of industries do excellent on Google My Business, even though they don't typically have a physical location that you can walk into, because we set it up to say, hey, we service these areas, and we see great success with those types of clients as well. So hopefully that answered the question there.
Thanks, Isaac. I'm answering another question for B2B versus B2C. And B2C truly, I'm going to answer this one out loud, yeah. But even if you're B2C, that is going to be great for driving ROI through local SEO. However, even if you have B2B, people still want to see that you have a great reputation online. So why not take full advantage of all the power Google has and put yourself out there? It may turn into some business here and there, but B2C is really where the sweet spot is, where it's really going to drive you some ROI through Google. So
right. We use Google My Business more for B2B businesses. We use it more as a reputation booster and a conversion booster versus a traffic driver. It does drive some traffic, but you can't rely on it as your only traffic source. Typically, referrals are going to be one of your best traffic sources in B2B. But again, when they hear about you, they're going to Google you and see how you show up. So that's how we use it as a reputation and conversion factor for B2B, like us, where we use it as a traffic driver and conversion factor for B2C.
awesome. So I'm going to take over now. We're going to put a pause on questions, or Isaac can answer them here. So I'm going to get into the nitty gritty of showing you guys how things have changed. As Isaac shared, the back end of Google My Business is no longer accessible, where you go to google.com/business and you access it there. Now, if you're on your desktop, you have to go to a Google search and type in your business name. Like I tried to find Flancers, I see Flancers. I will show you how to navigate from your phone, because on desktop, you can only manage through Google search. On your phone, you can only manage through Google Maps, the app. So a little bit different. With that being said, so when you're starting in desktop, make sure you are logged into the email associated with managing your Google My Business listing. That's where people get stopped real fast. But first, you can see down here, it says your business on Google. If you are logged into the right email, then you will see these options. So on the right-hand side, you see your GMB card, and that, like Isaac shared, takes up a large portion of quote unquote the first page of Google if everything is optimized correctly. But here, edit profile, I'm just going to walk you through what these tabs look like and what they are. But let me back up. Before I even do that, make sure you have access to your listings. What if you don't know who has access to it? These three little dots right here, click on Business Profile Settings, and it will allow you to add or remove your managers and owners. So if you click here, you can see there's owners, managers, and you simply click the Add button, and here's where you can add it. An owner can add or remove people, manager can edit. Okay, so that's very important first thing to know. Secondly, moving into editing your profile, here's where you'll find all your basic info, business name, categories. With categories, I will tell you, just like Isaac mentioned earlier, the more specific you can be, the better. So I really wouldn't recommend adding more than about 3 to 5 categories to describe your business. Any more than that, and Google sometimes will have trouble distinguishing, like, are you this, are you this, are you this, which one are you? If there's 10 categories to choose from. Definitely flesh out your description as much as possible. What I mean by that is Google has a 750 character limit. Take full advantage of that. Now that you know about the Keywords Everywhere tool, do your research, put a keyword or two in here. Remember that Google has what's called these spiders that are constantly crawling the web, and they can crawl all this text. And if you continuously talk about having the best sandwiches in Gilbert, Google's going to want to rank you for best sandwiches in Gilbert. Opening date, phone number, website. Your short name does need to be in here because that allows you to get a quick link to be able to ask for reviews. I'll show you how to do that later, but short name, just put in something simple like what your business name is. Flancers Gilbert, simple. A menu link, since this isn't a restaurant, you will have different things available here that you may not see for your business. That's normal. Every industry varies a little bit. Location. So if we click on the edit button here, here's where Isaac was talking about. If you don't want people to come to your location, or if you're a service-based business like a plumber, electrician, landscaper, you can turn this off and simply put what areas you service instead. In some scenarios also, you can list your address and then it'll still allow you to put service areas, which is cool. The other thing with this area, when you're filling out your address, click the adjust button and make sure your map marker is exactly in the right location. I know we've all been there when we're using Google Maps and it's like, you have reached your destination. And I'm like in the middle of a cornfield or in the middle of a highway. I am not here. So make sure you put your map marker in the right place to help your customers reach you. In service areas, Again, like Isaac shared, you do want to be more specific here. If you service people in Phoenix, you can put in zip codes, you can put in cities. Don't put the entire United States because that's harder for Google to understand. What state do I rank you for? You can list up to 20 different service areas. Business hours is pretty self-explanatory. One nice thing too is if you had to temporarily close because of the pandemic or anything like that, you can adjust that info as well. Holiday hours, important. Happy hour, we're a restaurant, so we can put in more hours, like what are our lunch hours? What are our online service hours? You'll see some of these options as well for different industries. In the more category, this is like your different amenities or offerings. There'll be checkboxes, yes or no, for things like this. Accessibility, is it wheelchair accessible? Amenities, especially since it's a restaurant, do you have a bar? Are dogs allowed? Do you have Wi-Fi? And then this one goes on for a while because it's a restaurant. So I won't go through all of them, but there's dining options, highlights. This also I do want to point out to you. Sometimes Google or a user can go in and change your data online. It's a real bummer, but they actually let you know. So it says your attributes were updated by Google. If I scroll down here in blue, this is what Google or a user is suggesting for Flancers, that there are no vegan options. Let's see. Because I manage that one. I would show you an example, but essentially if you go to any Google business or search your favorite restaurant right now, there's a suggest and edit button and anybody can go in here. That's why you as a business owner really need to keep an eye on things like, hey, we do have vegan options. Let me correct this. If you don't touch this for 7 days, a couple weeks, it will force that there's no vegan options because you didn't tell it otherwise. Okay, so just make sure you're paying attention to that. Oh, and if you were to do that, you can hit accept, we have no vegan options, or just hit the edit button and then come down to where it says serves vegan options, yes or no, and then you can choose yourself, okay? Other than that, here's another one, you can put payments in here, planning, service options. So that is your business information. Here it says read reviews. And up here is where it says get more reviews. Remember that short name I mentioned? So you have to put in that short name in the business information in order to have access to this beautiful button. When you have this link, what it does is takes your people who you're sharing it with directly to the write a review box. Now, Localfy has been doing this for years and years and years, and then Google finally caught up to what we're doing, which is kind of funny, to be honest. We created short links for people that would turn a 6-step review process into 1 click. Google's there now. So I highly recommend when you're asking people for a review, give them this link because it just makes it a lot faster and easier. Here also in the review section is where you can respond to your reviews. Part of Google's algorithm too looks at how often is a business getting reviews. I encourage you to get at least 1 new review every month, and also look at your competitors. If somebody has 10 reviews and everyone else has 0, then make it a goal to at least get 10 reviews. But the other thing Google looks at is how quickly are you responding to reviews. So definitely make an effort to respond to these. Usually within 24 to 48 hours is pretty good. And to do that, you would just come, it would say answer essentially, or you can edit any response that you do put in, which is nice. And message feature. Sorry, go ahead, Isaac.
To talk about responding to reviews. 1, it builds trust because Google sees you're responding quickly, which builds trust to Google that you are currently managing the business. And 2, a little secret thing, ninja tactic that we use is we actually will put keywords in our response, especially if the person talks about keywords in their review. And that's a great way to, again, get more keywords. We don't want to overdo it. You don't want to keyword stuff because Google is pretty smart and will see that you're overdoing it. But as long as you do it, intelligently, we have like food takeout, dine-in or delivery, Mesa restaurant, these are different things that we put in. So that's just a secret tactic that we wanted to share with all of you guys because it's a great way to get more keywords into your profile.
Because remember, Google crawls all of this, your description, your posts, all of it. Moving on to messages. Now you can choose, depending on your industry, it may make sense to have this messaging feature on. It's essentially like text messaging through Google. So you can click turn on, and then it looks just like a normal messaging feature, which I'll pop over here to Galena's real quick. The good thing about promoting yourself online is more people will find you. Sometimes the negative effect is more spammers will find you too. That's just part of showing up online, so you can see like, let me promote your business. But here's your messages, and then you can type in your response right here. Otherwise, don't worry about, it's not the end of the world if you don't have the messaging feature turned on. But if you're a business where it makes sense, especially service-based businesses, I see that it does very well for. Here you can add photos, photo, logo, cover photo. Cover photo is huge, you guys. So cover photo is the first thing that people see on your Google My Business card. Usually Google wants to see that it's like the outside of your building or signage. If you don't really have those kinds of things, then pick a image that best represents your business, but put your logo on it, brand it. And then with that being said too, just Google what size is a Google cover photo, because this isn't going to 100% stick. Google's a little choosy sometimes. So you may have to play around and upload a couple different cover photos to see which one Google will accept. You can persuade them. In other words, we persuaded them that we wanted this nice picture here. And then another thing is performance. So one of the downsides to the new Google is that they've actually gotten rid of a ton of analytics, which is kind of a pain in the butt, to be honest. But it still gives you some things, and it is important to check these too. You can set your time frame for the past 6 months, month to month. You can see, since again, this is specific to a restaurant, but it does show you all your business interactions, aka customer actions taken through Google. Here I can see how many times people viewed my menu, how many times people did a food order right through Google, how many phone calls. The other cool thing with phone calls is it gives you a little more info, like when do you miss calls? What time do you usually miss calls? It can help you better understand what's going on in your business. Messages, because we have it turned off, there are 0. Bookings, direction requests, as well as website clicks. So again, very important info. There was just a lot more in the past that they used to offer. And then advertise will take you straight to the Google Ads area where they want you to pay money. Our best recommendation, like Isaac said with local SEO, is go organic route first. All of this is free, you guys. Like, optimize it to the full capability of what you can and watch what it can do for you. And then decide if Google Ads makes sense for you. Because we are a restaurant also, we see food ordering, wait lists, bookings. With food ordering, this is actually kind of cool too, because we can essentially put a button right on Google My Business and say we offer these different providers for pickup or for delivery. And because I'd prefer they order through our website, aside from like DoorDash and Uber and all these things, I can put in my own ordering link. And you can see it says order pickup, order delivery. And then wait lists is a new feature that Google offers now too, which is really cool. You can join a wait list right from Google. So essentially I can skip the whole hostess desk or calling or anything like that and just click a button. So that is an option as well. Bookings, this is also helpful, especially for service-based industries, I would say. Like, I can book by clicking this button. It takes me directly to whatever website link you want me to go to. So if I'm booking with a junk removal company, I can have it link to my booking page on my website. And then I'll pop up with a big blue button that says book. Calls is also very helpful. This is actually call history. So again, in terms of using tools to keep track of the efficiency of your business, I can set different time frames and I can see who called when, how long was the phone call. You can definitely tell if it's spam, if it's only a couple seconds long, how many missed phone calls. That's good insights for you. And then Q&A. Anyone can ask a question on your Google My Business. It is your responsibility as a business owner and I highly recommend that you are the one to answer it. Otherwise, any willy-nilly person can answer these questions. Do they deliver? It says one more answer. Like anybody else, see, Kit Bain is a random person. He said, yeah, you can do it with DoorDash, but we can put our answer in there so people know, oh, it came from the business owner. It's correct. Also, remember, Google crawls all of this text too. So we want to make sure that you're writing good answers, and also you can put a little bit of keyword stuff in there. Aside from Q&A, add update. This is your Google posting option. So an update is essentially like any info you have or education or news about your business. An offer is exactly as it says. What are you offering? Do you have a coupon code or a discount? An event is exactly as that says as well. What's cool about events is you can be very specific, put in your title, your start date, your end date. You can even put a start time and end time, a photo, your details. With any Google post, you can write up to 1,500 characters and add a call to action button. When you add a call to action, any of them, except for the call now, you can put in whatever link you want. So like Isaac shared, they see a Google post, they can click on it and go somewhere. If you click the call now button, it'll actually take you to whatever phone number you have listed on your Google My Business. Okay. Otherwise, an update is very simple like the other ones. Add a description, add your button, add your photo. You can preview this before it pops out too. And like Isaac shared, your Google posts on a computer are going to pop up at the bottom here. Okay. All right. And then lastly, an ask for reviews button. This just gives you that quick link, which you can also grab from the reviews area. Okay, so that is this in a nutshell. It also tells you your profile strength here, but if Google has recommendations, you'll have updates here that says, hey, here's a way to get more reviews. Hey, you don't have your chat turned on. So these are just suggestions. Don't feel like you have to do every single one because it may not make sense for your business. Isaac, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I just want to talk about a couple things just that you just went through that can help you out with your ranking. So one is photos. So we actually will upload new photos every single month because, again, that really helps build trust with Google, and it shows that you're actively managing the profile. One hint that I tell people with photos is make sure you title your photos. Most people upload photos that are like 44b76.jpg. or, you know, whatever. And so title your photos with a keyword in it. You know, if your photo is about a sandwich, title like sandwiches in Mesa, you know, something like that. That can really help with, because Google will actually read the photo metadata. Also, if you're taking photos with cell phones, oftentimes your location data will be on that photo if you have allowed that on your phone, and that will actually have interior metadata that Google will read as well, and that can help with your location. So, you know, photos are a big deal. Both in post and just adding photos. Our best, you know, recommendation is add 2 to 4 photos a month, and make sure that you at least title the photo. You're gonna title it from your computer. So before you upload it, that's where you'll just change the name of whatever it is to something that is related to a keyword of yours. Other people, consumers, won't see this. Google will actually see it. So just wanted to say those things. Also, in the updates, as Kim shared, you have 1,500 characters. So there's a limited amount of places that you can add keywords, but this is one of the places that you can add a lot of keywords. Again, you don't want to keyword stuff. Typically speaking, you're going to want to have 2 to 4 or 5 keywords max in these 1,500 characters, or you can have similar keywords that relate to each other, but they're not the exact same keyword. So that is a key for just when you're writing your posts. Think about that. Think about the keywords. Don't overdo it. The keyword density of 3 to 5% is usually what is you know, best practice for SEO. So just wanted to mention a couple of those things before you move on to the phone element of everything, Kim.
Awesome. And before I move on to phone, there are 2 other important things that you should know. Again, every industry shows up your capabilities a little different, but like Galena Fine Jewelers is a jewelry store, so they have a products and services tab. If you see this option, take advantage of it. One thing to know with Google changing things regularly is they're no longer going to show prices. And there will no longer be a custom call to action button, but it will still allow you to put in whatever website you want. Products is a great way, obviously, to promote a physical product, but even somebody like Localfy, a service-based industry, or a painter, you can still put in products, put in something like, we offer interior painting, exterior painting. Those are your different products, services, and another way that you can talk about, these are the things we offer, putting more content. You get 1,000 characters to put, to play with here. Also, your link here, put in your image. With products, I highly suggest you put subject to availability. That way, if you're not good at keeping up on your products, that way it just covers your butt. If someone's like, hey, I saw this online, but it's not here, well, we put subject to availability. Also, your services is essentially like a menu of what you have to offer. With products, you can create your own categories and your own products. With services, you can't choose your categories. Whatever categories you chose when you were setting up your profile here, those are the categories here, okay? So you just need to put services under each category typically, or whatever makes sense. Like, we offer engagement rings, full service jewelry repair, and so on. So you can put in different descriptions, and you can put a price in here too. Just no pictures. Unlike products, you can add photos. Okay, so now we can move on to the phone. Phone is very similar. I'm gonna make this big. Let's back up. Similar in what you can do, but remember, from your phone, you're actually going to go to the Google Maps app. Once you're in there, the first thing you need to do on the top right corner where our face is make sure you are logged into the right email associated with your Google My Business listing. Then you need to type in the name of your business, find your profile.
First time guest.
And when you click on it, you can see this video auto plays. At the bottom here, it said edit profile, promote, customers. You can also see these updates that I'm scrolling through here. This is how you edit your profile. Otherwise, here's just the basic info that shows up to any user. And as we go through here, when you click on edit profile, which it will in a second here. I had to pre-record it on my phone to make it easier to show you guys. You can see there's a lot of amenities that can show up here too. Okay, so scrolling back to the top. If we click on edit profile, we have our basic info, just like I showed you before. Business info, where it allows you to do website, contact info, address, business name, your hours, food ordering. Remember that button that says order, pickup, or delivery. You can add a photo here, your logo, your cover photo, okay? And fast forwarding. And this is all your business information here. And remember, here's that area, again, in business information, show business address to customers, or if you don't want to show an address, you can click that off, okay? Your service areas we talked about. A lot of different areas to go through when you have a restaurant. A lot of different options here. Okay. That's the food ordering. We're just kind of skipping through this to save time since I showed you guys this part already. And now when you're back at the main area next to edit profile, it says promote. When you click on promote, this is where it's going to take you to your performance so you can look at different stats. What's actually interesting about the phone version of Google Maps or Google My Business is you can actually see different statistics. So many of them are the same. However, if you scroll down like I am here, it says how people discovered you. And here you can see what platforms are people using the most. So like for Flancers Gilbert, people find them most frequently from their phone. And if you scroll further beneath that, it shows searches. This is very helpful because this is communicating. This is the way you are coming up in search results. People are searching for food near me, restaurants, restaurants near me, and so on. Okay, so that's very helpful for you too. Food orders, these are just different analytics that I showed you before. Your phone calls still show you the same. Bookings, directions, website clicks. To add an update, you can also do that through here too. In the promote button, add update, offer, event. Those are all options for Google posting. And if we fast forward, because all of this setup is exactly the same like I showed you on computer as well. So back here, if you click on customers, you can manage reviews. You can respond to reviews through here. You can look at your call history. You can message people back and forth through here if you have your messaging feature turned on. And you can answer your questions in here if people ask questions, which is very helpful. And this is what the questions look like as well. Back it up just a little bit more. The other thing about the messaging feature I did want to share with you is when you're in call history or your messaging feature, see these 3 vertical dots on the top right? That sometimes allows you to have more control over notifications or your settings. So like here, I can turn on call history. If I click those 3 little dots, I can adjust essentially like, do I want to be notified anytime somebody messages me? Do I want to get notified, in certain ways? So make sure you're clicking on those 3 vertical dots as well to see what capabilities you have. The other thing is you can add FAQs to your messages, which is really awesome. So if you have a lot of commonly asked questions, you can create automated responses for those commonly asked questions. That'll help reduce your time spent in the messaging feature. Especially if it's like spam or something too, you can even set up automatic responses for that, just being more efficient. All right.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Kim. I know.
And then, sorry, go ahead, Isaac.
I know that we're coming close to our time, so we want to let people know if you have any questions, put them in the chat box now so we can answer them. And I think you're just about to finish up on the phone element of things, Kim.
Yeah. That was pretty much it, to be honest. The last thing is if you click on the photos area, it would literally have a big blue button that says add photo. That is how you add photos. But essentially, they're very similar. So I wanted to share that too. And thank you guys. I know I had to rush through that a little bit, but thankfully I got to show you through the desktop version as well. Go ahead, Isaac.
Thank you for recording that, Kim. Kim definitely spent some time yesterday recording it on her phone so that we could make this video so we could show you on a computer, because the phone, I do know a lot of business owners are on the go always, and utilizing the phone for this is very helpful. And the fact they got rid of the phone app, I know a lot of my customers are bummed by that, but we have a good way to go through the phone now. So we definitely wanted to take some time and show that to everyone, because we thought it would be very valuable. So awesome. So I see some questions coming through and I will answer those in just 1 second. I did want to let everyone know, if you do want to learn more about our services or, and learn more about what we do, you can visit us at localfyseo.com, and Kim's going to share that in the messaging. Also, we're really excited because of these changes and because of, how Google has operated, they've made it more difficult for locally owned businesses to actually be able to get the full power out of their Google My Business, as well as I know that the economy is kind of crazy right now. And so spending money on marketing can be scary. So for those reasons, what we've actually done is we've really worked hard to take one of our softwares that's really only designed for agency access, and we're actually providing it to local businesses like yourself. And so we're just about to launch this program. We've included a full course as well to really walk you through how to use this software. And it's really powerful for getting you on a ton of citations. It's really powerful for monitoring. You're going to get great reporting as well, just way more data. And so if you're interested in that, Kim's going to actually share a link so you can let us know you're interested. So when we launch this next week, we can let you know that we've launched. And because we love AZ Commerce Authority, and we love doing these webinars, we're actually going to give a massive discount to anyone. We are looking for people that kind of help us test this out at first, so we will be retailing this at $250, but for anyone from this webinar, we're actually going to be providing it for $99 a month for life. So that's a really awesome deal, and yeah, we're excited to be able to offer this to really any type of business, but it's a really good way to get a great foundation for your local SEO. We've been working really hard at getting this available and getting the course up and really helping people have this access to be able to manage their Google My Business.
And we're so excited that AZ Commerce Authority gets to be the first to use it. Don't tell anyone else yet. You're number one.
We haven't announced this to really anyone else because we've been building the back end and making sure it works well and everything. So
I did just put that in the chat too. So like Isaac said, if you're interested in the done with you, we provide video lessons and educate you on how to do it yourself. So we can make it more cost efficient for you because we know how difficult it is right now. So simply click on that form. It asks maybe 3 to 5 questions, and then that way we'll have info to be able to reach out to you and follow up. So thank you guys so much. Isaac, you want to go through and answer some of these questions? I'm sorry if we can't get to everyone in time. If we don't get to your question, again, you have our website, localifyseo.com. Feel free to contact us there or book time in your calendar and go through that. Isaac, you want to pick and choose, or?
Yeah, well, I'll just go through, what I see. So, okay. I see Terry asking a question about location. And yes, this has become fairly difficult now to communicate with Google. They've removed a lot of the lines of communication. And so we are seeing this more prevalently, which is a big reason why we're launching the software, because on this software, you have way more control. You can drop exactly where your marker is, and it directly communicates with Google because they have a huge partnership. So that is one of the best ways. The other way would be to really go through the forum. Kim, can you pull up a link? So there is a forum that you can still go through with Google. You do have to go back and forth a lot of times, and you do have to be a squeaky wheel a lot of times to get things done. And that's oftentimes what we're doing with our clients, is being that squeaky wheel to Google. But that is one of the best ways to communicate directly with them on an issue like this, where you're located in a different building that's right next to you, or there's a wrong address. Or we started working with a client where the map marker was on the middle of the highway, so no wonder no one could find them.
And also with this form that I just sent to contact Google, don't let them just give you resource articles. Just click ahead and it'll actually let you email them and fill in the blanks. It's very helpful.
Awesome. So so those are, really the two ways, is really working with an agency like us, or trying to contact Google through the forum and seeing if they will listen to you, because they do what they want, really.
I'd like to answer another question, Isaac.
Go ahead.
From Candace. She said, where do the messages go when people are messaging you? So that's a great question. Whether you're on your phone or on the computer, you can do it right through the Google My Business app. So whatever email you're using to manage your Google My Business, it will notify you via email that you do have a new message. However, there is a new way. If you go into that messaging feature, and like I said, click on those 3 vertical dots, and it will actually allow you to set up your phone number so it can text you directly, hey, you have a message. So that's also an alternative way to do it. You really want to be able to respond within 24 to 48 hours, and especially so you don't want that prospect to go to someone else, you really want to respond as quickly as possible too.
Awesome. So I think I just saw one other question. It was about photos from your phone. In fact, we actually oftentimes take Google pictures from the phone because the phone quality is so high now. So you definitely can use photos from your phone for your Google My Business profile. In terms of the cover photo, Google will always prioritize an outside photo showing your signage. So sometimes that's actually not the best photo for your cover photo. So that's why Kim was talking about, sometimes you have to try and different photos and see which one Google will actually accept. And sometimes it's a trial and error, to be honest with you. I don't know why Google accepts some and doesn't accept some, but we've just found that if we, you know, try it in a couple of different ways, we can get a photo in there that will actually stick. So just wanted to answer that question as well. So once again, thank you everyone for attending this webinar. It was our pleasure to be on it again and sharing brand new information. We've literally never shared this information because everything has changed in the last 4 months. So this is our first time getting to share this information with everyone, and you guys have been an awesome audience. So definitely thank you so much. And Kim, did you want to mention one more thing?
Oh, yes. First, obviously, I wanted to thank Faith and Robert and Arizona Commerce Authority. You guys are awesome. I'm so excited that you guys get to go through this boot camp. Like, I'm a little jealous, to be honest, because we didn't have this. But also, if you had a great experience, if you learned something, please leave us a review. I put in the chat there, review Localfi here. As a business owner, I highly encourage you to also ask for reviews. Don't be nervous about it. Just do it. If you're promoting great business, which I know you guys are, feel free to ask for reviews. And hopefully we did a great job too. I know we did. And then you can leave us a positive review too. But thank you guys so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Kim and Isaac. It was a great presentation. I appreciate a lot of great information. I know we didn't get to some of the questions, so we will get those questions over to Localfi so they can answer them with your contact information so they can reach out.
Thank you, Robert.
Questions in there. We want to make sure you get answered. But and normally, if you're familiar with the boot camp, we don't have a little sales pitch. But Isaac and Kim got with me ahead of time because it's such a great opportunity to test out this new software access that they have and save some companies some money in doing so. I was happy to let them share that with you. You know, there's only a handful of you that are on here that got that offer. So if it's falls within your needs, if you saw this presentation, say I need some help with that, it might be something to look at, but there's no requirement. But we do appreciate our partners here, and Isaac and Kim have done a great job for us over the last 3 years with a number of different presentations with support in our digital academy as well. So with that, we're a couple minutes over, so we will go ahead and wrap up. But again, thank you to our presenters at Localfi, Isaac and Kim, their time and their effort. And thank you to all of you for attending. We appreciate it. And we hope to see you next Tuesday on our next boot camp. Until then, have a great week. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thanks.